Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. It's such a wonderful day. I am so thankful to God because He has done so much for us. He is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and I am so thankful because He has blessed all of us to live to see another day. And dear God, as I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day today. I am, and I am just so thankful because I am blessed with my reasonable portion, with great portion of health and strength in my sound mind, and thankful to God for everything that He's done, doing, will do in my life as well as yours. Welcome to Point of View. I'm here myself today, me, myself, and I, and we're going on. And I thought I'd do something kind of lighthearted today. I've things people say and do and make you wonder sometimes. Things we, and I should have said we say and do, because sometimes we we can look back throughout our lives and think about things that we might have said or done that were just totally, totally off. I'll say it like that, just totally off. So I looked up some things today and I said this would be good to do, a lighthearted thing to do today. And so I'm going to go ahead and go into it. And I found this information. It's on, let me see, 35 funny, ridiculous, and seriously stupid things people witnessed their friends doing, as shared in this viral thread. And this is boredpanda.com. Boredpanda.com. So throughout our lives, we know we have seen and heard and done some funny, ridiculous things in our lives. So here goes some of the things. This is from Board, hi, thank you so much for being with me. BoardPanda.com. I thought I'd do something light today, okay? And I want to say, I know you've seen on my Facebook page that I had such a wonderful time at the Terrell Anderson Terrell reunion, legacy reunion. It was just wonderful. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it every minute of it. I was so thankful to be able to go, and my daughter went with me and she had fun too. So it was just wonderful. So I'm going to go on. I'm going to go on. And I want to also say that Elder Dwight Thomas sent a message to me. They're in they have their anniversary. So I'm going to find this message and read it to you because he had sent it to me in a message. And they had a revival, but I didn't get to make that announcement. But I want to make this announcement from Elder Dwight Thomas in Denison, Texas. The church is in Denison. So let's see here. All right. Now, they had a revival the 13th and 14th of this month, which was this past weekend. And then on July the 23rd is the 20th church anniversary at 3:30 p.m. And the guest speaker is Bishop Michael O. Clerkley. And it's a celebration of 20 years, God's faithfulness and mercy. And it's let me see, let me get the name of the church. I don't want to do it. God's House of Faith and Worship Center Church, and that's in Denison, Texas. And that's Pastor Dwight Thomas and First Lady Thomas, right in Denison, Texas. So the church anniversary is the 23rd, and it is at starts at 3:30 p.m. in Denison, Texas. And Bishop Michael Clerkley is going to bring the message that day. So I wanted to get that announcement on here. And I'm going to go right into, and I want to say happy anniversary, 20th anniversary. Okay, 35 funny, ridiculous, and seriously stupid things people witnessed their friends doing, as shared in this viral thread. And this is by Leva Galuti and let's see, Ostasia Akavikalti. Okay. And ladies, I hope I didn't mess up your name. All right. And if I did, I apologize. So we usually think of our friends as pretty great human beings. And yes, we know they are pretty great human beings. So whether we're facing troubles, need encouragement to pursue our dreams, or simply want to celebrate the good times, they are always by our side. Yet, even they are not immune to doing something dumb. But instead of letting them spend hours obsessing over their blunders, we're here to laugh with them. And Pallavi Gunalan, a stand up comedian, writer, and actor, provided a perfect example of that. A few days ago, she made a tweet about her friend who tried to microwave a frozen burrito. Here comes the silly part. When it didn't work, she threw the burrito away and tried heating up a different one. So, people, we do some of the things that are just so off, don't we? So, then the story inspired hundreds of people to share the funny, ridiculous, and straight up stupid things their friends ever said or did. So get ready to dive into some of the best answers Board Panda has selected from the thread. Upvote the ones you made that made you laugh and share your own stories in the comment section. So if you want to go and share something, and you can share something with me today live, share something with me today. Okay, that somebody did, or maybe you did, and then you realize that was the dumbest thing anybody could have said or done. So I think every human being that is able to talk and think has done some of this stuff, something off, something funny. So here's one person said, my brother-in-law had a high school girlfriend who thought Abraham Lincoln was the first black president because he was brown on a penny. And then she said, my mother-in-law's reply to her was, and he's green on the $5 bill. That doesn't mean he's a Martian. So that was kind of funny, kind of amusing. Next, we have one that said, my friend in high school insisted Italian wasn't a language because she was Italian and spoke English. Did you get that? My friend in high school insisted Italian wasn't a language because she was Italian and spoke English. Her history teacher left her class to enter mine to tell us all about it. So it was so funny. The teacher left the class to go to another class and tell them what she had said. Okay. Next, I heard about a guy shooting his new semi-automatic pistol for the first time. Now this one is something else. That's why I don't bother with guns, because sometimes I think, now I don't know why, but I think I might just turn the gun up and try to look in the what is it, where the bullet comes out. For some reason, I don't know. I just don't know. But I don't like guns. But you have to hear this, okay? So I mean, that would be something silly, but people have done that. Something went wrong with the gun, or they didn't know what they were doing with the gun, so they just turn it and look at it and end up killing themselves. So these are dangerous things. But this right here, listen to this. I heard about a guy shooting his new semi-automatic pistol for the first time. After the first few rounds, there were no holes in his paper target, so he assumed the gun was malfunctioning. So to check, He aimed at the palm. You hear this? So to check the gun, he aimed at the palm of his other hand, fired, and found his answer. So that means he shot his other hand. These things are kind of funny, but they're dangerous too, okay? But I thought I'd just do a light thing today. Give us a break, all right? So now, Gonnalin's tweet prompted a deluge of reactions. Many users chimed in with countless encounters where they witnessed their friends doing something ludicrous or downright dumb. Later on, Pallavi also posted a follow-up tweet about her friend's situation. I gave her an extra microwave I had, really hoping she didn't throw it away. Well, let's face it, we all have friends, and then our friends have us as friends too. So it's not always the friend. It might be the friend, but we might be that friend, okay? So we all have friends whose approach to life seems a little outlandish. While moments like these make us wonder whether people around us are not the smartest ones, we also start to remember the little mishaps we have done in our past. Basically, everyone has had their fair share of foolish moments. So while we easily brand many situations in life as stupid, the word still sounds a bit subjective. So just think about a situation where you miss your bus stop, believe you'll ace a test without studying, or trip over because you were captivated by your social media feed. According to scientists, we instantly call these things stupid because we are very quick to label it. So here's another one. When I was in fourth grade, I had to practice a recorder for music class, but my mom wouldn't let me wouldn't let me once the sun had set because she believed it would call all the snakes to come into our house. And so you know how we see these people that blow these recorders or whatever, these little instruments, and then they make the snakes come up out of the thing. So I guess the mother was thinking that. So next, we will go to this one. My roommate in college used to wash her feet by putting them one at a time into the toilet and flushing. No soap, just a flush. Now, I think that was yucky. Now, here's another one. My SIL, a PhD student and Fulbright recipient who speaks 5 languages fluently, mind you, once started to clean a bathroom by taking a handful of hand soap, looking around cluelessly for a second, and then smearing it across the sink. So, and then the person goes on down here to say, we love her very much. Now, the next one. So there have been studies, researchers, and here's one that said, I have a friend who has 2 advanced degrees from top universities and who speaks 7 languages. Give give me wrong directions to her house where she lived for 10 years. Wow. Where she lived for 10 years. There are so many things on here. And here's some other comments. Let me see. One says, I have a colleague. Oh, and here's another thing. Just because you're intelligent, and this really does, it's really true. Just because, and it depends on how we look at intelligence. Okay, just because you're intelligent doesn't make you smart. Okay, now this is what someone else said. So here's another one. I have a colleague with a PhD who cannot be trusted to find her way anywhere on her own. She once spent 2 hours at a party before checking her phone and seeing our texts asking where she was, realizing she was at the wrong house, a complete stranger, and in the wrong town. So she still managed to have a great time, though. So she made the best of it. So now here's another one. Well, at least she had a good time, and the OP has a story to tell. So win-win, right? Now let me go on down to another one. A study by researchers from Eötvös, uh, Lornand University in Hungary and Baylor University in Texas argue that studying why and when people call certain actions stupid can offer psychological insight. Not only because finding and declaring something as stupid is a simple everyday activity, but also because it reflects how people adjust their own behavior and expect others to. Now, the researchers wanted to find out why we call certain actions stupid irrespective of a person's cognitive abilities. And to do that, they needed to understand what people mean by it. So the main author of this study, Dr. Belaz Axel, told Medical Daily that he and his colleagues were surprised to find very few studies have been done on this topic before. And many times people label things like, if they don't understand it, we don't understand it, and it's not exactly like we think it ought to be or we expect it to be, they call it stupid. Or if somebody says something, they call it stupid. So I understand what they're saying. So here's another incident told to me by a friend. His coworker is not too bright, but knows it. His son had a bottle of Coke that had prizes under the cap and looked at it. It said, sorry, try again. So the boy put the cap back on and took it off and looked again. Okay. Next, people kept setting our microwave on fire because they didn't know you have to add water to ramen. Wow. This happened at least 3 times, and I had to put a note on the microwave. They just put the dry ramen noodle in there and set the microwave on fire. They did not read the instructions, evidently. So, next, I saw my girlfriend's roommate try to boil water for 15 minutes on low. She said she didn't like using high heat because the coil turned red. Whoa. Next, man, we just don't understand some of these things, do we? So while it may seem odd to learn how people decide that a thought or an action is straight up dumb, scientists went on a mission to tackle the challenge. Given how frequently we find situations in everyday life in which we do or would call someone's actions stupid, one would think we should understand when and why people experience this feeling. And so researchers collected and analyzed real life examples of what people constitute as foolish. They gathered a sample of 180 news stories and other online content from news sites like the New York Times, the BBC, and TMZ, and also blogs, also forums, and other publicly available publications where people characterized actions described there as stupid. They presented the stories to more than 150 Hungarian undergrad students who had to fill out a questionnaire. So people had to rate the intensity of the stupidity on display, as well as explain why they thought any given action was stupid by choosing one of many categories such as overconfidence and fatigue. So, like when I first started, I said over and over, there's research on just about anything we can think of. And when I'm given a subject to, when the Spirit tells me a subject, all I have to do is type it in. And I find all kinds of articles on what I typed in because somebody has researched it, and more than one person. So there's always some research that will help us understand some things, or at least make us wonder about some things and make us think about why certain things are, and give us information on certain things to make it clear to us. So we're doing some lighthearted today, okay? Hi, thank you so much for being with me. Try and beat this one, okay? A fellow student in a 100-person science lecture told the professor she didn't fully believe in evolution because, and this is what she said, because I've never seen any species evolve. And so we as human beings, we evolve every day, don't we? Okie dokie. We're the human species. All right. Now, here's another one. She's over here trying to get my attention. When my oldest son was in high school, he dated a girl that destroyed multiple microwaves by trying to thaw out cans of frozen Dr. Pepper. Her family was wealthy. We were not. So this is what the lady said. I advised him he would never be able to afford her. Can you imagine that? Trying to thaw out, first of all, freezing the can of Dr. Pepper, and then putting it in the microwave to try to thaw it out. Wow, that is something else. Never heard of that before. So next, here's one. Chicken pot pies take 6 minutes to microwave. A friend of this person's children put one in for 3 minutes because then it's done sooner. She ate a few bites and threw it away because it was cold. So she thought, if I put it in for 3 minutes, it'll get done quicker. And then when it wasn't done, she threw it away. Wow, these things, this is something else. We don't think about these things every day, do we? Next, I had a coworker who, after blowing up a balloon with his mouth, breathed his own breath back into his mouth and was perplexed as to why his voice didn't change. Because you have to let the air out of the balloon back into your mouth. Wow. Whoa, Nelly. Now, here's another one. Oh, and I don't, this is something about something that I didn't quite understand, so I'm going to skip that. So now, the researchers divided participants' answers into three distinct categories. The first was called confident ignorance, when someone takes risks without having adequate skills and knowledge. And overestimating oneself is the highest level of stupidity. So, as an example, they provided a story about a burglar who meant to steal cell phones but lifted GPS devices instead, which led the police straight to him. So now the second kind of stupidity was called absent-mindedness, and it refers to people who failed to do the right thing because of a distraction or, again, inadequate skills. The last category, a lack of control, results from obsessive or addictive behavior, such as someone who cancels on a friend because they can't pull themselves away from something. Oh, wow. Many of us have been tempted to do that, haven't we? Because we were interested in doing something and we knew we were supposed to meet somebody at a certain time, but we wanted to continue doing this. So, hey, we can understand that. So, here's another thing. She said, I had a friend who put a frozen burrito in the microwave, and when it didn't heat up, she threw the burrito away and tried heating up a different one. These seem simple to us, don't they? But these are big deals for other people. Next, I saw my sister give up trying to make Kool-Aid because she couldn't figure out how to put 3 cups of water in the little packet. Now that one is something else. 3 cups of water. And she was trying to figure out how to put 3 cups of water in the Kool-Aid package instead of putting the, we know how to make Kool-Aid, don't we? Putting the 3 cups of water in the pitcher and then putting the Kool-Aid in the pitcher and stirring it up. So she was trying to figure out how to put 3 cups of water in the Kool-Aid packet. My goodness, I never would have probably ever thought of anybody doing anything like that. Next, I knew a girl who hated getting coins as change, so she would just throw them away. And then they said, in the trash can. So every time this one girl got change, nickels, pennies, dimes, quarters, she threw it in the trash. Now let me tell you something about us. Papa, daddy's daddy, didn't like pennies. He didn't like pennies. So, and we knew it. He knew we knew it. So he sent me to the store one time, and I got some change. No, not his. No, his just whatever the little change was. I got it in pennies, and Papa didn't want it. So Papa didn't like pennies. All right. So she said this girl hated coins. So whatever amount it was, I guess this girl just turned around, and just threw it all in the trash can. Just think of how much money she threw away. Wow. If somebody didn't help her out and if she didn't accept the help. Now, here's another one. My brother once stared in a mirror for 5 minutes because he couldn't figure out why his hair parted on different sides in the real world and in the mirror. Same brother in his 20s called 911 when his power went out. Next, said I had a coworker who would not put gas in her car till it was empty because she didn't want to waste the gas that was already in the tank. Multiple people had to explain to her that the gas already in the tank didn't get wasted. It was simply added to. Simple and wasted. Now, let me tell you about me. I have thought like that too. Because I'm thinking, okay, I wait till it gets to a certain place, not unless I'm traveling, a long distance, before I stop and fill up again because I already have this and I want to use as much of this as possible before I put some more in the tank. But I'm better. I'm much better than that now, okay? All right. And it says simple and wasted. That's what they said about this lady. So Dr. Axel revealed they found 90% of students agreed on whether they would call an action stupid or not. It shows that we use this label very similarly. Based on this, we would think that we must know what stupid means, he explained. People often think that it is strongly linked to low IQ. Our findings show that people attribute stupid to 3 independent situations. So we'll probably get that as we go on down. Here's the next thing. This person said, I had a friend, listen to this one. And it is so simple though. Listen, I had a friend that cut his finger while slicing a bagel because his finger was through the hole. Simple is as simple does. Next, one time me and my friend and his girlfriend went to Wendy's and hit the drive-through window. The girlfriend asked for a Monterey Ranch chicken deal or whatever it came up on the old screen order screen as, and it was MR chicken. Girlfriend exclaimed, "Not a Mr. Chicken!" And the worker laughed out loud. Not a, she said, not a Mr. Chicken. She said, I want, what is that? The Monterey Ranch chicken, not a Mr. Chicken. Okay. Next, I had a roommate who was shocked to find me microwaving butter. He wasn't aware that it would melt into liquid. He also thought that India was a part of South America. Now that could be a simple thing because everybody doesn't know where everything is on the map. All right. Now, my friend washed rice with a dish soap, and this lady said, "We are Asian." Next, I had a boss who forgot his email password while using his iPad. Now, listen to this. He got frustrated and said he'll just buy another iPad. Isn't that amazing? Not even thinking that he's still going to have that password on the new iPad. But people think like this, and we've all done some thinking or some adequate, inadequate thinking in our lifetimes. He, just because he could not remember his password, he's going to buy another iPad. Okay, next, and here's some more results of the study. The findings of this study bring us closer to understanding people's conception of unintelligent behavior while emphasizing the broader psychological perspectives of studying the attribute of stupid in everyday life. Because people are so quick to call people stupid. And doesn't it just break your heart when you hear people say, I'm stupid, I'm just stupid, I'm just stupid. And if I get an opportunity, I say, don't say that about yourself. You are not stupid. But some people have called the people stupid and all that kind of stuff. And some people just, I'm just stupid, I'm just stupid, I'm just stupid. Anyway, let me go on. We would like to explore whether discovering incongruities in our environment has an adaptive function. Maybe if we observe stupid actions of others, then it may make us less likely to make mistakes ourselves. So, if we are right, then finding something stupid may make us upset, but also a bit smarter in our actions. That makes sense to me. Okay, the next thing here that somebody said, I had a roommate that didn't like to wash dishes. So she would throw them away after using them, and then her parents would buy her a whole new set. Eat and throw the plate away. Have you ever heard people say, I just eat and I just break the plate? I will never forget. We were in church one time, and so this man was up speaking, and he said, I just eat and break the plate. And I said to myself, you would never, because somebody wanted to introduce him to me. And I said, never ever. You eat and then you break the plate. No, we don't be doing that kind of stuff. Anyway, so needless to say, that didn't happen, don't you? All right. He went on about his business. All right. I had a roommate that did so this person threw the plates away and her people just bought her some more plates. Huh. So was that a practice? A home practice? So who knows? Next, I had a roommate in university who threw out the toaster and bought a new one because the old one dried out his toast. Well, I bet people were grabbing up stuff left and right. Oh, this is a perfectly good toaster. Somebody had some good stuff, didn't they, after they threw it out? So next, in college, and then this person said, a long time ago, said, my friend and I wanted to make baked potatoes. He called his mom for instructions. She said, stick forks in them and bake. We I stuck forks in them and left them in while they baked. so the metal could transfer the heat into them. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Next, had a roommate that thought the refrigerator produced water, magically, I guess, to make the ice and water for the dispenser in front. And thought the ice maker inside was separate ice than that came out of the door. And they said, this person said she was very sheltered. Wow. So next, not only that, she thought the dryer ran on gas, I guess, was afraid to run the dryer because she didn't want to get, and I quote, and this is what they said, peroxide poisoning. And we know that it's carbon monoxide poisoning. The things people do and say. And next, I had a housemate who liked to eat pizza rolls straight from the freezer. Wow. Still frozen as a quick snack. She would chomp on them until they became soft enough to chew and swallow. I had to point out on the bag where it states to cook throughout. Wow. Next, not my roommate, but a co-worker's roommate, okay? They thought lint rollers were one-time use. They'd take the wrapper off, lint roll their clothing once, then throw the rest away, not knowing you peel off the layers. I think I did that one time too. So hey, it's not just them all the time. All right. Next, my sister went to throw out her Bluetooth speaker, and when I asked her why, she said it was broken because it kept crackling. I asked her if she'd tried charging it. She didn't know she had to charge it. What she thought it would what she thought it would run on forever, I couldn't say. Whoa, wow. Next, I have worked with a girl who was fairly religious. Having a conversation one day, she told me, this person is saying, she didn't believe there was anyone in the mob. It was made up. I said, why do you think that? She said, I never met anyone in the mob. I took a beat and said, do you believe in God? She said the mob doesn't exist because she's never met anyone in the mob. And then the person turned around and said, do you believe in God? But she's never seen God, personally met him. Okay? That I know of. All right? I get the point. This person is a co-worker that never ate raw shrimp. He thought they came breaded from the ocean. Oh, my goodness. The whole shop, 12 men, were crying, laughing. Breaded from heaven. My goodness. Wow. Isn't that amazing? A girl I knew in college tried to heat up spaghetti sauce on the stove while still in the glass jar. She had properly heated the meat in a pan and then asked her, where were you going to put that meat? She said, in the jar with the sauce. Wow. But for real, some people just don't know. They just don't know. Next, I had a friend who cut her bangs crooked. So she just cut them to the scalp and pulled forward the next row of hair to make new bangs. My goodness. Ooh wee. So that's the end of that. Wow. And this person that put this out here, they said Leva is a writer at Board Panther who graduated in Scandinavian Studies from Vilnius University. After learning the Swedish language and getting completely lost in the world of Scandinavian mythology, she figured out that translating and writing is what she's passionate about. So when not writing, Leva enjoys
Okay, everybody, let me see. I might have this camera turned the wrong way. I'm not sure. Let me see here. I had to. Okay, there it is. I had a power surge, so everything went off. But I just wanted to come back and say thank you so much for watching. I had gotten to the end of today's webcast, and thank you so much for being with me. I truly appreciate it. I love you so much, and please enjoy the remainder of your day. Please enjoy the remainder of your day.